Welcome to Strange Device. We're going to look at 3 musicians who overcame obstacles to become 3 of the greatest guitarists ever to pick up the instrument. First up, Jimi Hendrix. While he was left-handed in some things and right-handed in others, when Jimi Hendrix first started playing guitar, he felt most comfortable playing left-handed. The problem was, and still is, that there are just so few lefty guitars made for the public. And usually, if you can find one, it's much more expensive than its right-handed counterparts because of economies of scale. So when a young Jimi picked up the instrument, he came up with a solution. He would just turn a righty guitar upside down and restring it and play it lefty. And so was born the technique of the man most commonly regarded as the greatest electric guitarist of all time. Playing a guitar, usually a Fender Stratocaster in Jimi's case, upside down, created a few nuances that I'm sure helped him develop his signature sound. First, strumming with his left hand forced Jimi to roll his wrist out in front of the guitar in order to avoid getting caught up in the pickup selector switch and the volume and tone control pots. This surely created an unusual strumming and picking style that affected the attack of the notes. Next, by stringing the guitar upside down on the 6-inline headstock of a Strat, Jimi made the lower strings longer and the higher strings shorter, thereby changing their timbre. Also, the bridge pickup now had a reversed angled position relative to the strings, making the high strings sound more mellow and the low strings more incisive. Finally, the 2 cutouts or horns on a Strat are not equal, and by turning the guitar upside down, you restrict access to the higher frets. There's no doubt that that forced Jimi to adjust his fretting hand position when fretting and bending those higher notes, and therefore generate alternative tones. Let's give it a listen. Next up, gypsy jazz master Django Reinhardt. As a teenager, Django was making a name for himself in Europe, playing for traditional French accordionists and singers. While on the road, however, Django's life was forever changed. When he was only 18 years old, the traveling wagon belonging to Django caught on fire when a candle fell over, and Django was horribly burned over half of his body. He lost movement in his pinky and ring finger of his left or fretting hand and, over the course of many months, retrained himself to play using only his index and middle finger. He went on to become one of the most influential guitarists of all time, inspiring musicians for generations to come. Check out Django's great speed, precision, and expression in this clip, which appears to be the only existing footage of him playing live. And finally, let's talk about a guitarist with an extremely unconventional technique, Jeff Healey. When Jeff Healey was 1 year old, he lost his sight as a result of a rare form of eye cancer, which required his eyes to be surgically removed and replaced with ocular prostheses. When he was 3 years old, Jeff was given a guitar and he instinctively laid it flat on his lap and went about teaching himself how to play. The position of his hands looked more like playing a piano than a string instrument. By the time he was 9, Jeff was a local celebrity in his native Toronto, Canada. By 15, he formed his first band, and within a few years was discovered and endorsed by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Albert Collins, and B.B. King. From there, Jeff's career took off and he blew up on the blues rock scene. Here's a clip from a performance in 1989. See how strong his fretting hand is because of the leverage he gains by having the whole of his arm to power his bends.
Yes! Yeah!
I hope you enjoyed our review of guitarists exploring alternative techniques to overcome obstacles to master their instrument. Thanks for watching Strange Device. See you next time.